Hi, I'm CineSport's Justin Shackil, putting a wrap on the weekend that was in college football. We do that with Ralph Russo of the Associated Press. Ralph, we start with Miami, firing Al Golden as head coach. Why was this the right move with Golden? And in your eyes, who do you think is the best fit to replace him?
Well, I think at a certain point, it's over. And when you have the worst loss in the history of the program, it's over. Now, whether you need to make the move the next day is debatable. I'm not sure exactly what you gain if you're Miami by letting Al Golden go the day after the 58-0 loss to Clemson. But it was pretty apparent that this wasn't going anywhere. He was 32-25, and you can argue that Miami might not be a team that should contend for national championships every year like they used to, but they should be better than Duke.
And Miami, of course, losing to Clemson, like we mentioned, 58-0. So a big weekend for the Tigers. Not a big weekend for the Seminoles. Florida State getting stunned by Georgia Tech. What do you make of the ACC right now?
I think the conventional wisdom is that Florida State loss to Georgia Tech in crazy fashion hurts the ACC, and it sort of makes Clemson the lone contender now. In 2 weeks, Clemson and Florida State play in Death Valley, and that was supposed to be the ACC showdown of the year. Well, now a little luster has been taken off that game. I'll spin it this way, though. I don't think it's quite as dire a situation for Florida State as maybe some people do. If the Seminoles were to go to Death Valley and beat Clemson, and then at the end of the year beat Florida, a Florida team that may win the SEC East, and who knows, could win the SEC, I think that all of a sudden the Seminoles have a case as a one-loss team for maybe getting in the playoffs. So it wasn't a great thing. It certainly wasn't a great thing for the ACC to see one of its marquee teams go down, and I think that the margin for error in the ACC is a little thin, but I wouldn't necessarily write Florida State or the ACC off just yet.
All right, let's touch on the Big 12, specifically Seth Russell, his neck injury sustained on Saturday. What does it mean for him? What does it mean for Baylor if he's out for a long period of time?
Well, we don't really know about how long he's going to be out. That'll be determined in the next couple of days. He was going to go see a specialist, apparently a broken bone in his neck. Now, the Bears' schedule is very much backloaded. They end the season in November, even though they've had a pretty easy ride up until now, but their November is about as tough as anybody in the country. Oklahoma, TCU, Texas. Jarrett Stidham is the really talented freshman quarterback. Can he play at the level that Russell was playing? Russell was playing as well as almost any quarterback in the country. That remains to be seen. Again, sort of like the ACC, you think from sort of the big picture standpoint, Baylor probably, because of the schedule it played in the non-conference, couldn't afford even one loss in the conference play. And now the best team in the Big 12, at least the team that I think is the best team in the Big 12, is flawed. So not only does that hurt Baylor, it may hurt the Big 12 in general.
Ralph Russo, the Associated Press, putting a bow on this weekend's edition of the college football season. Ralph, thanks for the time.